Good morning, Stampers. It's Fiona Whitehead here again from craftystamping.blogspot.co.uk. I've got a wonderful tutorial for you this morning, and it's these tea light cards. They also come gift wrapped in a box. The box will be on a separate video. I saw these a couple of years ago by Caroline Hallett, I think it was, and I've just updated them with this lovely candy cane paper. So there's this one, and this one with the Merry Tags framelits again, and they could be for anything. I have done one for a 60th birthday, and they just use the small little thin tea lights that you can get in local stores. So this one we're going to do today is the little house with the candy cane lane. So let's get going. We're going to be using real red cardstock, and you need to cut your piece at 11.5 by 6.5. I'm going to put all the centimetre measurements on my blog, so you can pop over there after the video if you wish to know what they are. So we've got our 11.5 by 6.5, and we're going to score at a 1/2 inch on the one side, using my Stampin trimmer again, because I find that the best for scoring. And then we're going to score, turn it around because it makes it slightly easier, at 1 1/4. Let me just find that. 1 1/4, 3 inches, 3 3/4, and then we're going to turn it lengthways and do it at 3/4 inch on both sides. And turn that the other way, makes it slightly easier. And as I said, I will put all the centimetres on my blog. There, 3/4. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut up to this first score line that we have here. You can cut with scissors if you're good at cutting straight. I unfortunately am not very good at cutting straight, so I'm going to use the trimmer to cut up to that first score line, turn it round and do it the other way. I do envy people who can cut straight, because it's not a talent that I have, unfortunately. There we go. So then you'll have left with these two flaps. Just move that over to one side. I'll need that again in a minute. Take your scissors and just cut these edges off. There we go. Now we're going to burnish the folds. This bit here is what is going to make our box. Just fold those up like that. And there, and that side. You would use your bone folder, but of course I forgot to bring mine with me. So rather than skimming back to behind me where it is, I'm going to just leave it like that. Now we're going to cut the ends off both sides. The box will fold like this, but before we do that, we need to cut a little bit out of this middle bit here. Let me just fold that one again so you can see exactly where. It's this bit here where we're going to cut a panel, because if you can imagine, that is where your tea lights are going to go. You can, of course, cut by hand, cut with a scalpel, but I'm going to just use my trimmer again. There aren't really any measurements for this. You can just eyeball it and have it as big as you want or as small as you want. You're just sort of doing a small rectangle up to there, over to there, and then I'll just use my scissors to finish that off. Just like that. And just like that. Keep that piece, you never know, could come in handy for something. And that's the gap for our box, so we can see how our tea lights are going to go. Now we just have to cut these edges here with a V to make our box, and again on that side, and on that side, and on that side. You can see our box is starting to come together. Move that out of the way. And there you can see we're getting the shape of our box. We'll do these last ones here. Take this side out and take that side out. So that's the small one, so you're left with that shape. Okay, now cut a piece of acetate. I sometimes use the back of the pieces of paper we get with our stamps, and that's just going to go on the back there with a little bit of snow. Pleased to say that my new order of glues has now come through, so if I do run out, I've got some spare. These are the tea lights we're using today, so they will just sit in there like that. Just make sure that they fit before we start putting our box together. See, they'll pop in there just like that. Let's put the red one, the purpley one and the purpley one. So now all you have to do is put your box together. I'm going to use the sticky tape to put the box together. Just find it a little bit easier. So sticky tape on this bit. I need a longer piece than that, aren't I? There we go. A little bit more. It tears so easily, this stuff, doesn't it? It's really good. And then that's going to go in there and there. So I want a little bit on there. And a little bit on there, and the same for this end. A little bit on that side, and a little bit there. There we go. Just take this one off first, or these two I should say, because I ended up having to do two, and then just fold that over and pop one of your tea lights in, just to make sure you get the right shape. There we go, and press down. Super. Take these ones off. That can go out for a minute. Take that one off. And that one. And fold. And then pop all your tea lights in before you close the other end. So I'm going to do a purple, a red and a purple. You can just push that down onto its end there to secure it. And then just take your other tabs off the other end. It will come, there you go. And this one, and close your box. And there you have it, there's the tea light box part. Now we're going to just fold this bit over, and that's where the good bit begins. That's when we start to decorate it. So you can decorate it any way you like. So I'll just show you how I've chosen to do this one today. Just to remind you, we're going to use the candy cane lane. I've already cut the parts out. You need to decorate with your DSP, and the size is 2 7/8 by 4 3/4. That's in inches, and as I said, I will put the centimetres on my blog. Just pop that on there. I've used the Merry Tags framelits again from the Merriest Wishes. That is the bundle. I love this set. I've already done it because using the big shot tends to make the whole camera shake. I'm sure you didn't want to see that. And what I've done here is I've just cut out one of the little houses out of our DSP. I'm just quite literally going to just stick that onto. If you use the short little fat house, because there are two sizes of houses, and cut around all the brown, it does fit onto the bauble. And it was the round bauble from the Merry Tags framelits. There you go. Now for the sentiment here, the For You, I've used the Banners for Christmas set, which is also in a bundle. And I've just used the small banner for the words and the larger banner for the red at the back. And in true Blue Peter style, I have them here. The 4U I've used is actually from Jar of Love set, which is this one here, which is also comes in a bundle. I quite like my bundles, good value for money. So I'm just going to stick the 4U onto the banner, quite simple. I think that glue is going to run out soon. There we are. And a touch of basic rhinestones just on the edges, just to give it a bit of sparkle because it's Christmas. There we are, can you see that? Just going to pop that at the bottom with a dimensional. Out of the way. I'm going to cut these in half actually, and do one on each end. There we go. And there. And just put that at the bottom. And I'm going to put a dimensional on the bauble. First I'm going to use some of our baker's twine in the gold, just to give the bauble a bit of thread at the top. You can tie a bow, you can just leave it like this. There. And that's just going to go on there with a dimensional. The last little thing I'm going to do, I might do that before I put the dimensional on actually, is I'm going to use some of our fine tip glue. This is new to me. I haven't used this one before, so let's see how this works. And I'm going to put it on the snow of the house. And then just cover that with some, and the chimney I think, with some dazzling diamonds. And just, oh, it's got a little pokey tool in there, which has got to get, maybe I'll do that later, that's got to go in. I presume that's to stop it from getting stuck and gluing itself up. So we're just going to use our dazzling diamonds to give a bit of sparkle. Not sure if that'll show up, but there, a little bit of sparkle. And pop it on. And then the last thing is just the little bit of ribbon to go around. And I've used some of our natural trim ribbon here with the gold thread running through it. Very pretty ribbon. This also just helps just to keep your box closed, but it also makes it look a little bit prettier. There we go, just tie it round. And tie a bow. Off those edges. And there you have it. There's our Tea Lights card in a box. The box will be coming in the next video. So thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, please ask me. And you'll find everything on my blog, craftystamping.blogspot.co.uk. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.